हरि ओम। ओम ओम सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांति। ओम सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्। समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्। Hari Om, salutations to all. So in the 16th chapter we were seeing Bhagwan said about three gateways to hell. In verse number 21, he said, Trividham narakasyedam dwaram nashanam atmanaha. These three are gates towards suffering, sorrow. Hell means that. They destroy the capability of achieving any purushartha. Shankaracharya ji says, Purusharthaya yogyo na bhavati. Nashanam atmanaha means that person is not capable of achieving any purusharth. Forget moksha. Wealth one will not be able to attain. Dharma one will not be able to follow. Real enjoyment also one cannot have. When there are these three, kama, krodha, lobha. And in this, that's why one has to understand that krodha and lobha, they both are actually modification of kama only. Kama fulfilled gives lobha, not fulfilled gives rise to krodha. And kama there means selfishness, as well as, so the craving for sense enjoyment, sense gratification is kama. Krodha is when that desire is obstructed, and lobha in this specific context is accumulation of wealth. In the third chapter, Bhagavan calls this type of a kama as our enemy. Vidhyena viha vairinam, he says. It's an enemy for the seeker of knowledge also, as well as even for a seeker of worldly pleasure, power, prestige, popularity. Why? Because this lobha and krodha, based on kama, they don't allow the mind to be peaceful. They don't allow the mind to be content. So if it is, the desire is not fulfilled, the mind is disturbed, anger, agitation, irritation, violence, victimhood, all that will happen. And even after getting it, the contentment is not there because of lobha. Greed is so high. That is lobha. So no contentment, no quietude. Where will there be peace? And if there is no peace, creative ideas, working together with people, bonding, having the family feeling, all that will not be there. So even to attain success in the world, one must have mastery over kama. One must have sublimated kama. Purpose of grahastha is actually to sublimate kama. In fact, brahmacharya and grihastha both. Then one rises to vanaprastha sannyasa, that's the ashram vyavastha. So nivritti can happen only then. So here it is that Shankaracharya says that the person is not capable of achieving any purushartha. That's how one destroys oneself. How many examples are there of people who are victims of either of the three or all the three? In daily life, one sees so many examples. Somebody is so addicted to karma. How many unfortunate incidents keep happening? Is because people are overwhelmed, completely driven by karma. Krodha, how many instances of abuse, violence, domestic violence, all that happens because the person is not happy from inside and does so much of violence. Wants people to behave the way they want them to behave. And if they don't, then they get angry. Lobha, in spite of so much of success, wealth, power, people are still not happy. So that's why Bhagavan says here they are sure gates to hell. Trividham narakasyedam dwaram nashanam atmana. They will destroy all potential. For spiritual knowledge and realization, so definitely one needs to go beyond karma. And the only way to go beyond karma is become nishkama, become selfless, do seva, do karma of dedicating it to Bhagavan, do upasana, surrender to Bhagavan. All those are methods. So, in fact, from this Sunday, 17th May to 15th June, this 1 month is Adhik Mas. And the purpose of Adhik Mas is this. Technically, if you see by the scientific explanation, sun, so 365 days and 6 hours is what the earth takes to finish one rotation around the sun. And the moon, it takes about 354 days. That's the lunar calendar that we follow. So the difference between lunar calendar and solar calendar is about 11 days. Exactly, it is some 32 days, some 16 hours and some 6 ghatis. One ghati is some 24 minutes. So the idea here is what? That 32 days, so once in 3 years roughly, this Adhik Mas will come, one extra month, intercalary month. And in this Adhik Mas it is said, do all things which are Nishkama. So that we conquer this karma, because karma is our enemy. Because of karma we suffer. Otherwise our nature is Paramanand, our nature is Shanti, but we are not experiencing it because the block is karma. That one has to drop, sublimate. And so this month is called Adhik Mas and Purushottam Mas. It is worship, it is where we worship Bhagwan Vishnu, Tulsi Puja we do, Vishnu Sahasranam we do, Gita chanting, Bhagavat chanting, Purushottam Mahatmyam. One is do the chanting, second do the upvas whenever, whichever day is possible, or whole day, whole year, month if possible. Then do dan. Do all types of dan, annadan, vastradan, and this time it is Jyeshtha Mas. It is hot, so do jaldan. Give water to people, set up places for people to drink water, set up places where birds can feed water, give buttermilk, all that. And specifically it will be said, don't take up any selfish initiatives. So no marriage and no house and no new buying flat and new car and none of that in this 1 month. It's not that it is inauspicious or anything like that. It is that 1 month in the whole 3 years. Once in 3 years, at least you think selfless, think about others, think about service, think about giving. How much will you keep asking, what did I get? What did I get? That karma only will destroy us. So there are various ways by which our Sanatan Dharma says become Nishkama. Kama esha krodha esha rajo guna samudbhavaha. Mahashano mahapapma vidhyena miha vairinam, Bhagavan says in the third chapter. This Kama and Krodha born out of the Rajoguna, they are know them to be our enemy. We think exact ulta ki such Kama only will help us to progress. Vedant says no, that is your enemy. Kama which will help us to progress is that which is sattvic, which is born of inspiration, not rajasic, tamasic, which helps to reduce the ego, which helps to make a impact in a positive way on the people, on the beings, which brings us more closer to Jnana Bhakti Vairagya, to Bhagavan, to Atma. That karma is important. That is real progress. And as Shankaracharya ji says here, this karma will not allow us, this Rajoguna based karma will not keep us fit for even the other Purusharthas of life. Like we spoke earlier, Artha, Kama, Dharma, none of that also one can attain through this selfish desire. So one should clear that wrong notion in the mind. Selfishness is equal to more, progress. No, selfishness is equal to more sorrow, suffering, stress, worry, tension, anxiety. And selflessness is equal to happiness, peace, love, harmony, progress. One should be very clear about that. Sattvic desire is equal to progress, Rajasic, Tamasic desire born out of attachment, anger, all that is going to be harmful. So, in Bhagavatam, beautifully one shloka comes where Yudhishthir is being told by Naradji of how to overcome the 6 vikars. We will take just the 3 of them because here only 3 are given in this context. Where he says, Asankalpat jayet kamam, krodham kama vivarjanat, artha narthekshaya lobham. So, asankalpat jayet kamam. How to get out of kama? One we saw is to serve and do selfless work. But second is also don't brood. Because second chapter Gita, what does it say? Sangat sanjayate kamaha. Through attachment, this kama arises, and attachment comes from brooding. Dhyayato vishayan pumsa sangasteshu upajayate. One gets attached to it. Then one imagines, when I go there, then I will be happy. Now I will travel abroad. Modi ji may keep saying, ki don't travel. I am not going to listen. I am going to travel and I am going to enjoy there. When country needs us to reduce consumption, that is in the interest of ourselves as well as the country. He didn't say don't go anywhere. He just said avoid foreign travel. But our mind imagines. Then this sankalpa in this context is fanciful imagination, samyak kalpana. Now from there, that ladder of fall begins. Sangat sanjayate kama, kamat krodho bijayate. From kama comes krodha, krodhat bhavati sammoha. Full ladder of fall will happen. So nip that in the bud. When he says this, asankalpat jayet kamam. Don't entertain fanciful imagination. Then one will not get this rajasic kama. So how does this happen? Keep the mind occupied with something inspiring rather than pleasure seeking, which is why a higher purpose in life, a deeper goal in life is very important. Second, remember Bhagavan's name, Nama Smarani. Mind doesn't have anything to do, give it Nam Smaran. Repeat the mantra. Name of Bhagavan is very powerful. It will destroy all sins, all the Rajasic tendencies. One should keep chanting. Otherwise, mind which is not occupied with work or anything constructive, it will imagine all kinds of sense enjoyments. Then it will feel the restlessness. No, I have to go, I have to do this, I have to meet that, I have to drink this, I have to enjoy that. Gone. Now that fellow is attached. So Bhagavan says in the Bhagavatam, Naradji says, Asankalpa Jayet Kamam. That's how you will win over Kama. Don't entertain fanciful imagination. The effect will not arise if you handle the cause. Then then Krodham Kama Vivarjanat. Krodha can be handled when you don't entertain Kama. Because if Kama is entertained, then it is not fulfilled, then it will give rise to Krodha. Don't entertain only Kama. Krodham Kama Vivarjanat. Over Swami, how can I live without Kama? Rajasic Kama is what we are talking. Sattvic Kama you have, that's what the desire for satsang is, seva is. And there don't boost your ego. That one should remember. Otherwise, in seva also one wants ego boosting, recognition, praise, and appreciation. Then you are stuck. Then it's only Rajasic Kama. It's not Sattvic. Sattvic is I don't think about I. I serve the cause. Cause is greater than me. That is Sattvic. Even if nobody bothers about me, I am happy to serve in that noble cause and bus. That's my joy. How many people would have sacrificed their lives for the Hindus to get back into majority in Bengal? They identify with the cause. Sincerely, they have served, and so many people have lost their lives, sacrificed, given up many things. Then it is the resurgence has happened. Otherwise, how it will happen? And how much they have already tolerated, gone through suffering, sorrows. So the point is what? When it is not possible for human being to live without any karma. The choice is either I have Rajasic, Tamasic karma which will pull me down, or I have Sattvic karma which will help me to rise higher. Then go beyond karma, that is realization of the Atma. Then become Apta karma, fulfilled. Nothing more one desires. Because desire is a sense of incompleteness. When I feel incomplete, then to become complete, to feel complete, I have a desire. In deep sleep, we don't feel incomplete because we don't identify with the incomplete. So there is no desire. I'm sleeping peacefully. If we come to that state, what Gita said in 3rd chapter, Yastu Atmaratireva Syat Atmatriptascha Manavaha Atmanyevacha Santushta Tasya Karyam Na Vidyate. Their Rati, Tripti, Santushti is all in the Atma. Our Rati, pleasure is outside. Tripti is satisfaction is also outside with people. Rati is with objects, Tripti is with people, and Santushti is with some specific situations. Vastu, Vyakti, Paristhiti, we are stuck with that. This year is a person who has gone beyond all the three, realized the truth. From Tamasic to Rajasic Kama, Rajasic to Sattvic Kama, Sattvic Kama to beyond Kama is Apta Kama, fulfilled. No more desire. Desire doesn't trouble only that person. That is the real success of human life, where the desire is not troubling that person, because that entity only is dissolved. The entity who was feeling incomplete is not there, because the person realized here my nature is only Brahman. I am Paramananda Swarup. What am I running behind? A billionaire who did not know he's a billionaire, who thought himself as a beggar, was going on begging. When he comes to know I'm a billionaire, will he still go and beg? He said, there's no need. I'm a billionaire. Why? I don't need to beg anything. Apta Kama is like that. In fact, Taittiriya Upanishad says that Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma Yo Veda Nihitam Guhayam Parame Vyoman So Oshnute Sarvan Kaman Saha. Look at that. Brilliant. This person who has turned within, realized in one's own heart that my nature is Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. My nature is pure existence, consciousness, bliss, infinite bliss. It is as though all the desires of that person are fulfilled at one shot. It's just an analogy for us to understand. It is not possible to you know give any analogy or a metaphor to uh, understand what is the joy of infinite Brahman. Not possible. But some attempts are made. So it is said all the desires are fulfilled at one and the same time. How it will be if all your desires are fulfilled at one and the same time? That person experiences such a bliss. Sohshnute sarvan kaman saha. So the point is when people think that oh if I give up desire my life will become so dull and boring and useless. Why should I give up desire? Array, it's exactly opposite. Because of desire my life is stressful. Rajasic desire. Because of tamasic desire my life is miserable and I'm hurting and harming myself. Or I'm not even manifesting my potential. Because of sattvic desire, there will be inspiration, and because of desirelessness, there will be infinite happiness. That is the equation we have to set. Desirelessness is equal to infinite happiness. We are thinking right now maximum desire fulfillment is equal to maximum happiness. That is exact opposite. Because every desire is giving rise to more and more desires, and it will eventually law of diminishing return works. So I will be miserable. Even if the desire is fulfilled, that joy keeps reducing. So depending on desires and thinking that from there my happiness comes, that is moha, that is illusion. To know that happiness is my nature, desire is only a disturbance in that. That's why Gurudev said so nicely, happiness is equal to number of desires fulfilled by number of desires entertained. Don't try to increase the numerator, reduce the denominator. And 50 years are given to experience all the desires in a dharmic way. After that, reduce. Nivritti marg, that is. But we are on a ascending trajectory, full time. The more older one grows, the more desire is rising. It should be ulta to become quiet. I've seen enough. How much more will I see and taste and dance and eat and wear new clothes and do what? Perishable body. At any time it will drop. But before that, I should realize this Atma Tattva. So when Naradji said Asankalpa Jayet Kamam, don't entertain, meaning don't entertain this sattvic, this rajasic, tamasic thoughts, entertain thoughts about desirelessness, saying, I want to become that. Drop all desires. Swamiji, the desire to become desireless also is a desire. No, finally, then what are you doing? You are trapped in desire. Oh, very nice. Intellectual so-called argument that you have given. You caught me, huh? Array, with it, the holding to that desire only, I can drop all other desires. Then that will drop by itself. No doubt that is a desire to be desireless is a desire only. But what is the nature of that desire? The desire to be desireless is not going to make me indulge. It is going to make me drop. All other desires make me indulge, make me extroverted. This will make me introvert. This will help me to drop the very cause of all desires. That is ego. And finally, that desire also will drop away. When one realizes that my nature is only Paramanand. Desirelessness is my nature already. I am beyond thought. Consciousness is my nature. That when we realize, bas, apta kama, job is done. Before body drops, that is what one has to realize, ki I am infinite consciousness. I am not this body, mind, intellect. Why will I live like a miserable beggar as a jiva? I am Shiva. Full stop. Live like that. That's what Vedanta is saying. So when Naradji says Asankalpa Jayet Kamam, victory over Kama will happen when we drop all Kama and realize our nature as Apta Kama, fulfilled. In the world we say, okay, victory over Rajasic, Tamasic desire will happen by not entertaining them and channelizing the mental energy towards Sattvic desire, inspiring work, selfless seva, satsang, sadhana, sanyam, swadhyay, all that. Then krodham kama vivarjanat. Drop krodha by not entertaining these things, by not being very rigid, by neutralizing raga and dvesha, by learning to have sympathy and broader viewpoint, by understanding what are the things that trigger me and becoming cautious, by having certain stabilizers that when impulsive anger comes, I can hold on to them and stabilize my mind, and I don't allow the anger to just burst forth and destroy my peace as well as hurt others. It could be mantra japa, it could be breath observation, it could be activating this frontal lobe by doing some logical thinking, anything that can help me to ground myself. Brisk chanting of a mantra, mantram walk, any of that one can do, overcome anger. And later on analyze, anger is born out of some insistence and resistance. So where am I insisting, what am I resisting, what am I not able to accept, and where is this inflexibility coming from? That is the cause. I have to identify and learn to accept, learn to let go of my insistence and resistance, learn to have sense control, see things and value peace. Otherwise, we value anger more than peace. And we see so much violence and we justify violence. All that one has to undo. Then he says, Lobham artha narthekshaya lobham. By seeing the calamitous effect of wealth, one can get out of lobha. Wealth is required, no doubt, but how much greed has destroyed lives of people. Our mind is like that. What is there, it doesn't count the blessing. What is not there, it goes on running behind that. If the glass is 75% full, it is still bothered about 25 which is not full. How strange, na, that is. How people give many times the, what do you call that, mocktail and cocktail and whatever else, that juice combinations. Full, that whole glass will be filled up to the brim. There is no place and it is dripping, then they come and give you. Arey, why? You reduce a little bit and give now. People want overflowing, full. So the point is, this mindset of greed can go when I see that how much greed causes sorrow, greed causes us to compromise, greed doesn't help us to be content. It always makes us feel I don't have enough, makes us feel insecure, doesn't help us to enjoy the present moment, compare with somebody, feel lesser, feel superior. All this greed will do. And how many people for the wealth, they have killed their own family members and their fathers and siblings and even done all kinds of manipulation and fought with them and broken up and what? All for some wealth. It has functional value, that's all. Beyond that, nothing. But people give so much of importance to it. Their self-esteem comes from there, from the amount of wealth they hold, or the diamonds and the gold and the necklace and the whatever. Those are things. But we have given control to all of them. So Bhagavan says here, that's why they are all the three sure gates to hell. And they destroy human beings' potential. No, Swami, there are enough people who have Kama, Krodha, Lobha and still they are successful in the world. Human potential is to realize infinity. Human potential is to live in peace and happiness here and now and give that to others. That is gone if one is a victim of these three. Forget spiritual realization, so it's far away. Here, living in this world only peacefully, happily, harmoniously will not happen. Kama, Krodha, Lobha. How many wars are being fought? All because of Kama only. Ego. So Bhagavan says, Tasmad etatrayam tyajet. It is you who are holding on to it by your encouragement. So you drop it, Arjun. Bhagavan is saying that. Tasmad etatrayam tyajet. They will not remain in our personality if we do not encourage them. We encourage thought by thought, emotion by emotion, by feeding daily. You remove, don't feed them. They will die naturally. Oh, but if I don't feed them, then what will happen? Feed the positives. Feed the Daivi Sampada, what was said earlier. There's so much of joy one will get from that. That's real joy. This is all delusional joy. It's not joy. Sorrow appearing as joy. So Bhagavan says, drop it. Tasmadeta trayam tyajet. You let go of these. But what we are holding on to for so long, we feel, and it has become part of our identity. People proudly say, I am very angry person, Samji. When I fire, na, people shiver. People say, I am very discontent in life. I don't get satisfied so easily. To please me is not so easy, okay? Why? Such a difficult fellow you are. I'm not saying we should not have high standards. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about people who don't have contentment only. You can't please them. No matter what you do, they will be always complaining. And then they will proudly also say, I'm very smart. Nobody can beat me in smartness. Basically, that person is also very selfish, thinking only about oneself. So it has become part of our identity. Bhagavan says, drop it. You are not that. You are far greater than that. This is limiting your potential. Kama, Krodha, and Lobha. So, having said that, Bhagavan goes ahead to say that when this person lets go of these, it is in our head, we have given enough value to it, we have given enough room to it, and it is staying. Send them out. Saying enough now. And that's why books like Bhajagovindam, Vairagya Shatakam, they are very important to study, reflect upon, because they will give us the right perspective. Things because of which we are suffering, it will help us to let go. Same Bhajagovindam says, Mudha jahihi dhanagama trishnam kuru sad buddhim manasi vitrishnam. Oh deluded fool, drop this insatiable craving for wealth. Again in the end he says that artham anartham bhavaya nityam nasti tata sukhalesha satyam. There is not a drop of happiness in wealth. Kama also it says, नारीस्तनभरनाभिदेशं दृष्ट्वा मागा मोहावेशम एतन्मां सवसाद विकारम मनसि विचिन्तय वारं वारं. Again and again think, what are you fascinated by? This body is made up of flesh and fat and bones and marrow. It's only a modification of flesh, which looks attractive at a certain age. After that, it's gone. It is all gone, and then it finally dies. One burns and buries it. Finished. What is there in that? It is a good tool. Body is a good tool to do sadhana, to do seva. That's about it. Beyond that, nothing more. But we have exaggerated value for the body. Our whole identity comes from the body, from the things we have, from the people, from the appreciation that they give. And if none of these are there, we don't know who we are. Bhagavan says that you drop all these. These are all not even you. These are all anatma. These are all wrong, false. Simply you are holding on to these and then suffering with these. He said, drop. What happens if I drop this, Swamiji? I am so habituated to this now. See the 22nd one. एतैर्विमुक्तः कौन्तेय तमोद्वारैस्त्रिभिर्नरः आचरत्यात्मनः श्रेयः ततो याति परां गतिम्. एतैर्विमुक्तः कौन्तेय, O Kaunteya, O son of Kunti. Kunta means sharp in one meaning. Kaunteya means one who is very sharp in thinking. When Bhagwan said earlier, you drop these, tasmadetat trayam tyajet. Nobody can help me to drop kama, krodha, lobha. Nobody can do anything for me to get out of my kama, krodha, lobha. Only I have to put in that effort and drop. If somebody says ki koi churan de do, by which my karma will come under control, nothing will happen. Oh, you touch my head and then my mind will become peaceful. Nothing will happen. That's all in your head. That, oh, somebody touched me and my mind became peaceful. So what? You'll cut their hand and keep it all the time here or what? When they are not touching you, what will happen to you? And suppose you come to know some, for just for theory, something wrong that that person has done, and then all the faith that you had is gone, broken. Now let that fellow touch your head. Now what will happen to you? You won't allow them to touch the head also. Why? Now what happened? The same person earlier touching the head, you felt, oh, I'm feeling so peaceful, so blissful. And now what happened? Mind is disturbed because it is in your head. The Shraddha that you have put, that was helping you to drop. I'm not saying that great Mahatmas are not there whose effect can be there on a person, but I'm saying that how much we wait, somebody will do something, some Baba will do something, some person will look at me, some person will touch me, somebody will give me some powder, then I will evolve spiritually. Get out of all that wrong notion. It is all not possible. If Bhagavan Krishna would have touched Arjuna and his delusion would have gone. Why the 700 verses of Gita are required? Not required. Interesting it is. You know, I'm telling you this incident. I don't know exact details, but overall, I know the incident that has happened. So Gurudev went to one college to address. Okay. And it is supposed to be some engineer college or science college, something it is. And this principal had invited Gurudev to come there, and Gurudev has to give the talk. All these people who are sitting there, they are not interested to listen to him because they are thinking, we are all scientific and rational and logical, and we are students of science. What is all this? Baba is coming and he's talking. Why should I listen to him? So they were not bothered to listen, and one or two of them, even in the introduction, they made some comment like that. You know what Gurudev did? Before even he started the talk, he took one fruit that was there, one apple, held it in his hand, closed his eyes for a minute, and then he said, whoever gets this apple will be the topper in the class. And he threw. You should have seen that class, the whole class erupted to take that apple. And Gurudev was laughing. He said, and you call yourself the students of science, where you believe in one apple, that this apple will help you to become a topper, and you don't have belief in yourself, that your effort can help you to be a topper. And then you say, I am student of science, I believe in logic, and I don't have, why this spirituality and why this Swami has to come and talk. So think, and Bhagavan is saying, ki you drop this is in your head and nobody can help. If I recognize it is limiting me, it is making me miserable, and I don't want to entertain this, then I will drop. But if I have justification, no, Swamiji, in the world we have to live, what to do without kama, krodha, lobha, how will we live? In that same world, Mahatmas are also living. And our culture doesn't say that abandon anger completely. It says you abandon this selfish anger. There is a righteous anger which is required to discipline. That is not born out of personal agitation. That is born out of just the desire for the good of the others. Where you have to discipline, you have to discipline. It is not out of my desire is not getting fulfilled. I am not you are not following what I have told, so I am getting angry. No. So righteous anger is required. Bhagwan Shiva also gets angry. Bhagwan Vishnu also gets angry. Brahmaji, all of them. Where it is required, they will get angry. So to live in the world, sattvic desire is there that can help us to live in inspiration. Righteous anger is there that is required. Lobha is not at all required. Contentment is necessary in life. If I have contentment, I will progress also. If this much I understand, I will drop all this rajasic, tamasic, kama, krodha, lobha, gone. What happens to that person? Etair vimukta, because he has dropped it in his head, he has been freed. It's not by somebody's touch or anything like that. Etair vimukta kaunteya tamodvarai tribhir naraha. This human being who has been freed by his own effort or her own effort from these three gates of hell, kama, krodha and lobha, then acharati atmanah shreyaha. That person is actually able to work for one's own well-being and progress and evolution. How Bhagwan is so clear. We think exact ulta. Kama, Krodha, Lobha is required to be successful in life. Bhagwan says, Arey, you become free from them to be successful in life. You can grow only then. No, no, Swamiji, in Kali Yuga we require all the three. Okay, suffer then, what to do? अब इतना पकड़ के रखोगे तो पकड़ो. Nothing more can be done because Bhagwan himself is saying this. That Arey Arjun, drop this because only then you will be able to work for your good. Acharati atmana shreyaha. One's own true good, well-being. What is beneficial? Shreya means that. Shreya doesn't mean only wealth and power. It means overall well-being. It includes wealth, power, but without compromise of values, and it includes more inner qualities of peace, happiness, all that Daivi Sampada what we saw. Inspiration, service, satisfaction, devotion, surrender. It includes all that. That is Shreya. One grows, one helps others also to grow. That is Shreya. And that's what Arjun had asked. Yat Shreyasya Nishchitam Bruhi Tanme. What is the best interest of mine? You tell me. Decide and tell me. Arjun didn't ask for prayers. What is pleasant only? There are many things which can be both good and pleasant. Bhagwan means that here. Acharati Atmanaha Shreyaha. And through that what will happen? Tato Yati Param Gating. And after that one will also attain the supreme state of realization. When the mind is calm, peaceful, happy, contented, that mind can only turn within and contemplate and realize the truth. If the mind is troubled by kama, krodha, lobha, nothing. All energy will go only in fighting with these, managing these. Where will one have energy to turn inside and realize the truth? Mind won't even be able to hold on to the steady contemplative thought. Aham Brahmasmi. Go on everywhere else. So Bhagavan says, be free from kama, krodha, lobha. That should be our goal, saying that I am doing my seva to be free from kama. I am serving people in my family to be free from krodha and become more kind, compassionate. Swamiji, I look at that person, I get very angry. Then find out what is in my head that is making me so disturbed. No, that behavior of that person is like that, Swamiji. That person may behave in whichever way. It is my insistence that this person should behave in this way only that is creating the trouble. No, they can't talk like this to me. Their mouth, let them talk. How can you control what they will talk? And because they are not having control on what they will talk, you will disturb yourself. Gurudev always said that. To be angry is to put the key of your happiness into somebody else's pocket. Now everybody else is having the key to my happiness. Anybody can say anything and make me angry, or not say something and make me angry, do something or not do something and make me angry. World is controlling me then. One should have that I will not lose my. So one should think every day, these three auto suggestions one can tell oneself. I am peaceful, I am calm and composed, and I am contented. So I am peaceful and happy is antidote for karma. I am calm and composed is antidote for krodha. And I am contented and inspired is antidote for lobha. Instead of saying I'm deciding Swamiji, I won't get angry. Don't say that. I won't get angry will not work because mind will only understand anger, anger, anger. Just say this three. Kama, Krodha, Lobha. Every day and feel. In the beginning, even if you don't feel, don't worry. That is the aspirational state you want to come into, and you keep telling this to your mind. As soon as you wake up in the morning, tell yourself, today my day will be peaceful and happy. Today I am calm and composed. Today I am contented and inspired. Then do the work. So, when a person learns to control the mind in this way, slowly that mind will turn within also, and tato yati param gatim, will attain the supreme state. No, no, Swamiji, these rishis also show so much of anger. See, some of them are also showing that in the sadhana path there will be this obstacle which comes, which we have to overcome. Because if you see, anytime a rishi gets angry, the tapobal gone. Again, they have to put in the effort to build that tapobal. That's what they are showing us. Ki, why are you getting angry? Second, some of them get angry, as I said earlier, is righteous anger. It's not some personal anger. And some of them are Jivan Mukta Purusha. They will do only as a Leela. It doesn't even affect them. So anyway, the point here is one should drop, identify what is the cause of each of these in my head. It is all inside here only. Nobody outside is responsible. They are only triggers. Mainly it is inside. A nice example given for that is the cracker, firecracker. This firecracker has the gunpowder inside. So if you light it, it will blast. Now if you light it and it will blast, so somebody says, see that fire, no, that fire only caused that blast. Array, if that gunpowder is not there inside, there will be no blast. Fire is only one small trigger. If there is no gunpowder or that gunpowder has become wet fully, you light it, nothing will happen. It won't blast only. So, Vedanta is telling us that you drop, then one will turn within, become contemplative and realize the truth. Now, to help us to drop this and to have the right vision, see, till now what we discussed, many things we are having a wrong notion. We are thinking desire fulfillment is equal to happiness, whereas the truth is desirelessness is equal to happiness. We are thinking anger is equal to power, but actually anger is equal to weakness. It is a cry for help. I am not able to control my mind. Please help me. We think lobha is equal to progress. Greed is equal to progress, but greed is equal to stress and insecurity. Contentment is the real progress. So, wrong ideas are there in our head. So, we think of the wrong as the right and the right as the wrong. So, there is delusion. To remove that moha, we need jnana. And what is the basis of jnana? What is the basis of our life? How should I live life so that I know what is right and what is wrong? That basic vivek I can do. Right now I'm thinking the wrong as the right, right as the wrong, fully muddled in my head. Now what to do? Take the help of the scripture and let the life be based on scripture, not on what people are saying and not what on just I feel from inside and I just do it. For you to feel from inside and do the right thing, that training of the Shastra is required. Then you follow that voice, inner voice. If you have not trained the inner voice as per the scripture, then your inner voice is going to only reflect what the conditioning of the society is, or what you have heard and reflected, and you have come to your own conclusion. That's why Shastra is the Praman. These two verses are very important now, which comes the 23rd and 24th verse. यः शास्त्रविधिमुत्सृज्य वर्तते कामकारतः न स सिद्धिमवाप्नोति न सुखं न परां गतिम् तस्मात् शास्त्रं प्रमाणं ते कार्याकार्यव्यवस्थितौ ज्ञात्वा शास्त्रविधानोक्तं कर्म कर्तुमिहार्हसि. One should memorize these two verses if possible and keep telling oneself, this is the inspiration to study the Shastra also. Why should I study the Shastra? We will come to that. First, we will see what are the ill effects of not following the Shastra. Then we will see what are the benefits of following the Shastra. So, first of all, Shastra means what? Shastra means that which gives instructions. Simple meaning is that Shasti iti Shastram. That which gives instructions is the Shastra. Okay, why is it giving instruction? I have my own buddhi. I can live the way I want. Why should I listen to some scripture? Thousands of years ago, it has been written. I am living in the modern scientific age of AI. I have Chat GPT and Claude and this and that. They will guide me. Why I need Shastra for it? Because they can make blunders. You have to give a truth prompt, otherwise it will always agree with whatever you are saying. And by the way, they also have their own Shastra, okay? The Chat GPT and Claude also have their own Shastra. Otherwise, your tokens will keep getting used up. So you follow that their Shastra, na? What is the meaning of Shastra? That which gives instruction, number one. Why is it giving instruction? To protect us, because we have freedom. There is no Shastra for the birds and the plant and the animal and the, microorganisms. Why? Because they don't have a buddhi which can experience choice intelligently like we experience. They can only experience choice impulsively, instinctively, and their choices are only for survival. They are not choices like how we make. And they don't have the conscious sense of doership and enjoyership. They have instinctive sense of doership. That doesn't bind them. They don't create any new karmas in their yoni. They only destroy their karmas, exhaust their karmas. We are creating new karmas in this yoni. That also we don't know till Shastra says. That's why Shastra is required to understand, array, this equipment is given to me. How to use this equipment? Majority is misusing it, abusing it, not utilizing it also properly, is all going for a waste. So that which protects us by its instructions is called Shastra. Shasanat trayate iti Shastram. That which protects us, trayate. From what? From our own negativities. All this Asuri Sampada what was given, it will protect us from that. It will protect us from this wrong notion of this delusion what we have. It will protect us from our own attachments, aversions, ego, impurities, wandering of the mind, all. And on the one hand, it will help us to protect ourselves, and on the other, it will help us to get the right direction, clarity that what is the purpose of human life, what is the goal, what are you capable of, what can you achieve, and this is the highest. In 84 lakh species, there is one human body alone which is capable of realizing the truth by the self-effort. In that one human birth, three states of consciousness, waking, dream, deep sleep. In that dream and deep sleep, no sadhana can be done. Only waking state sadhana can be done. In that also, if I don't have the right attitude, what am I doing with this human life? It's like animal also is doing. Ahara nidra bhaya maithunam cha etat samanam pashubhir naranam. Ahara, Nidra, Bhaya, and Maithuna. Ahar is food, Nidra is sleep, Bhaya is fear, Maithunam is carnal enjoyment. This is common in human being and animals also. If life is spent only for this, what is the difference between animal and us? They are in fact better. Gurudev always used to say that they are stronger than you. You need mineral water, pure water. You can't drink that lake water which is there. They will drink. They can withstand all, you know, types of weather, heat, cold, rain, all. They withstand all that. Little temperature change happens. Oh, I have got fever. Gone. Physically, so we are no match to them. They will handle all that. But we have a buddhi that is incomparable. If I don't use that, then I am worse than the animal also. Dharma, that's why that Subhashita says, Dharmohi. That dharma is that which will distinguish the human being from the other. And who will tell me what is dharma, what is right and what is wrong, what is duty and what is not duty? Shastra. Shastra here literally means what? Veda. What is our main scripture? Is the Veda. So Shankaracharya says here, when in his commentary on this shloka, very clearly he has said this, that तस्मात् शास्त्रम प्रमाणम ज्ञान साधनम ते तव कार्य का अकार्य व्यवस्थितौ. It is the means of knowledge to know what is to be done and what is not to be done. And in that, what is the Shastra? Shastram Vedaha. Shastra is Veda. And it will tell you clearly Vidhi and Nishedha. These are two aspects in the Veda. What is to be done, what should not be done. ब्रह्म जिज्ञासमानानां प्रमाणम परम श्रुति परमम श्रुति and dharma जिज्ञासमानानां प्रमाणम परमम श्रुति. In Manusmriti this will come. Those who want to know what is dharma, their valid means of knowledge is the Veda, time tested knowledge. And of course that same principles of Veda are adapted in the Smritis. So Gita is a Smriti. Yajnavalkya Smriti, Manu Smriti, Parashar Smriti, Gautam Smriti, like that, so many Smritis are there. They help us to adapt those principles for the changing times. Based on this Shruti Smriti, then Purana is written, then Itihasa is there. All this together helps us to know what is right and what is wrong. But if I don't know this, I live on my own, and with whatever so-called knowledge I am attaining, if there is a way to give knowledge of all this properly, then nothing wrong, very good, live. But that knowledge is not given. Only material knowledge is given, extroverted knowledge is given. You know, the definition of knowledge is so beautiful in Dhanyashtakam, Shankaracharya writes that Tad jnanam yad indriyanam prashamakaram. That is knowledge which helps the senses to become quiet. And senses don't mean only these external senses. This is bahya indriya, bahishkarana. They are the external sense organs, the 10 senses. And mind is the internal, antakarana, internal equipment. That which helps to quieten down all these, that is true knowledge. Knowledge what we are getting is so exciting us more and more to run outside and to do whatever. Earlier Gurukul, this knowledge was given, then it was removed. So it is our duty to learn that Shastra, because if we don't do that, then we are destroying ourselves. Suppose I don't know that this particular phone that I have, I should charge it only with a certain voltage, certain watt. If I take an industrial plug and then put it and then charge my phone, the phone will burn because it can't handle that much electricity. Same way, what this body is capable of, we don't even know. We don't even tap the full power of it, or we misuse, abuse it totally. Then we are wasting. So that's why in the Gita, Bhagavan says, first in this 23rd one, he gives a warning. Yaha Shastra Vidhim Utsrijya. Whoever abandoning the prescription given in the Shastra, Vidhi means what is to be done, which includes Nisheda, what is not to be done. One who casts aside Utsrijya. With scripture, what scripture, they are all old, outdated. I don't want to listen to any of this. Yaha Shastra Vidhim Utsrijya Vartate. Then how will that person live? Kamakarataha. Only by selfishness, by whatever one feels like doing, and whatever was so-called acceptable, modern, logical, scientific, so-called. Again, I'm saying it is not that one should not be logical, scientific. No, no problem. But don't think that alone is the truth, because they are also evolving. And there are so many beautiful things which are beyond the scope of science, and it will never come under the scope of science because it is not perceptible. Shastra is meant for that which is not perceptible by the senses. One of the main purpose of Shastra is that. It is for Atindriya Vishaya. It is for that which is not perceptible easily by the senses, mind and intellect. Then it will tell us how is that your true self and how to discover that and why is that is what you seek also. All that logic beautifully it gives. Handles all different types of people, all different types of temperaments, give them the path according to that. So it is for us it is mother. We say Mother Shruti, Veda Mata. Gayatri Devi is called Veda Mata Gayatri. And what will a mother do? She will always act for the benefit of the child. All different types of children, the mother will give treatment according to each child's temperament. Like that. Now that kind, compassionate, loving mother will say, I don't want to listen to my mother. I will do whatever I feel like. Okay, do. Then what does Bhagavan say? Nasa siddhima vapnoti. That person will not attain any success. Oh, Swamiji, Bhagavan is giving curse. This is not a curse. This is not saying ki I wrote the Shastra and you are not following it, now you go to hell. Suffer there for eternity. No, this is a statement of a scientific fact. In what sense? It is like a statement of a scientific fact. That's what I meant. If you say which gravity, what gravity, I care a damn about gravity. I am going to go up on the 10th floor and jump. Okay, jump. You will die. No, I don't believe. Okay, then do what you want. Can't help you now. What to do? Fire is hot. Don't touch it. Who said? I will touch. Okay, touch. Then get burnt. It is like that. If somebody says, no, why should I be selfish? Why should I forgive anybody? Why should I be in compassion? I will do whatever I want. I will be corrupt. I will be selfish. I will be egoistic. Okay. Then go through the consequence, because choice has a consequence. As simple as that. You chose not to follow the rules. Go through the consequence. So he says, Nasa siddhima vapnoti. That person will not attain siddhi, success here as well as in the spiritual path to realize the truth. Na sukham, no happiness also, na param gatim, no supreme state also. Did not attain. No, Swamiji attained success here. That is from your standpoint of success. Shastra doesn't think of that as success. If I have attained wealth, power, position, name, fame, all that, and I have not got Atmajnan, Shastra says that is useless. If I have got all this name, fame, power, position without following path of dharma, I have created negative karma for myself, I have compromised. Shastra doesn't think of that as success. World may consider that as a success. That world which is perishable, that world is not going to come to my rescue when I have to face the consequences of my karma. So that's what it means. Nasa siddhim avapnoti, na sukham, na param gatim. they will not attain supreme state. If Sukha and Siddhi is not there here, quietude is not there, peace is not there, contemplative nature is not there. Because if one doesn't follow dharma, doesn't know what is right and wrong and mixes it up, then one is only creating more negativity. And which is why Shastra has to be followed, not for anybody else. For protecting myself, I follow the Shastra. Why should I chant Gayatri Mantra? It will protect my mind from negativity and in fact encourage my mind to be very positive. It will invoke positivity. Now if you say, I will not take vitamin supplement, I will just eat normal food only. Okay, eat, but you are not getting the nutrition from the normal food. You need supplement. That supplement will destroy the harmful pathogens, whatever are there, plus it will boost your energy. It will do both. That's what Shastra will do. So this is one. So 23rd is the warning. And 24th is the conclusion. He says, Tasmat Shastram Pramanamte. Hence, the scripture is the valid means of knowing what is right and what is wrong. It is that which will help me to know what is the goal of life, what are the goals in life, how to attain. It is that which will help me to transcend my negativities, become more positive, make my mind more single pointed. Today, people are talking about overthinking and being very, you know, uh, spiraling in thinking, as well as people are having depression and anxieties and all that. Protect yourself from that. Do japa, read the scripture, do the seva, live in detachment, have the bigger picture in life. All that Shastra only will tell. Shastra only will tell us happiness is our nature. Nobody else is going to tell happiness is our nature. Everybody will tell happiness is in this and that and go here, go there, eat this, do that. Shastra will say, Arey, Paramanand is your Swarup. What are you running like a beggar? Shastra is required to realize the truth. Jnana, I require Shastra. For Dharma, I require Shastra. For Upasana, I require Shastra. To have a source of strength in my difficult times, I need Shastra. To realize that Bhagwan is with me at all times and to feel his power and grace and strength, I need Shastra. For so many reasons, I need Shastra. And that's why he says to know what is right, what is wrong, I need scripture. Time tested values. So if a person doesn't know these things and then simply thinks that the scriptures are all old, outdated, that is shallow thinking. This is time tested knowledge. How many people have followed the scriptures and realized the absolute truth? So many examples are there. Read the lives of saints. They are the living embodiments of this, what we call the scripture, the Veda. What is written in the Veda, they are showing that this is what I have followed and this is what I became. They are the proof of the declarations in the scriptures. And so it's very important to understand. So many things are written in the scripture from different standpoints. So study the scripture from a person who is in parampara, who has studied from a guru, who has understood and then is passing on the knowledge. Simply we take a book and start reading, it will not work. So when certain things are mystical, certain things are symbolic, certain things are actual, certain things are from a metaphysical standpoint, certain things are for helping us to turn within, some are psychological, or different standpoints, different things are written. Now we mix up, then we won't understand. Then we say it is very weird. It is not. And be happy that you are born in Sanatan Dharma, where this Sanatan Dharma is very flexible, adaptable. It changes as per times. It is not fanatical. So, Tasmat Shastram Pramanamte Karya Karya Vyavasthitau. And it is this Shastra which gives us both philosophy as well as techniques. What we chant at the end of each chapter, Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastre. It gives a complete manual of how to live at every stage for all types of people, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, Brahmachari, Grihastha, Vanaprasthi, Sannyasi, for all. Such vast, elaborate scriptures we have. In the world, people don't have that type of a legacy that we have, the scriptural legacy that we have. And what we have left after so much of invasion and destruction, etc., is very little actually. It's hardly some 5, 10% of what was actually there. Even that is brilliant. So we have to go back. That's why he says, Tasmat Shastram Pramanamte Karya Karya Vyavasthitau. And it is not written by one person. Remember that. It is collective wisdom of so many people. It is revelation of Bhagwan. Plus so many sadhus, sant, mahatma, bhaktas, their life experience it is. So Bhagwan says, those who follow the scripture, it is good for them. Learn to live life as per the scripture. Tasmat Shastram Pramanam Te Karya Karya Vyavasthitau. Jnatva Shastra Vidhan Oktam. Whatever the scripture has said, it is our duty to know that and then live according to that. Karma Kartum Ihar Hasi. Bhagwan says so clearly that you should live in this world having known what the scripture is saying and then having transformed your actions based on that, not simply knowing it. Transform. Then you see what the scripture says is 100% true. One will experience it. So now this is where the chapter ends. Om Tat Sadite Srimad Bhagavad Gitasu Upanishadsu Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastre Shri Krishna Arjuna Samvade Daivasura Sampad Vibhaga Yogo Nama Shodashodhyayaha Sarvadharman Parityajya Mamekam Sharanam Vraja Aham Tva Sarva Papebhyaha Mokshayishyami Ma Shuchaha. So Shankaracharya ji actually he says in the Sadhana Panchakam, first line he says is Vedo Nityam Adhiyatam. Last line he says is Atha Para Brahmatmana Sthiyatam. If you study the Veda, it will lead you to realization of Brahman. That is fulfillment of life. And people like Shankaracharya ji, Gurudev, they committed their life to giving the knowledge of the Shastra to maximum people. Made them independent. If we have the Shastra in our hand, it is like having the map in our hand and we can walk. And when Shastra was not there in our hand, that's how we have lost so much of our, pride also and so much of our, strength and gone astray. One has to revive. By time many things go through decline, these great masters have revived the scriptures again, brought the true meaning into the lives of people, made it adaptable, and people have started living, and the Sanatan Dharma continues to be protected and is growing, flourishing because of such people. And so as our sadhana also, that so much they have done to awaken us. Now it is up to us to remain awake. 42 years of Gurudev's hard work. He brought the book to every heart and every home. Now we have to study and live. Now there we say, no, we will not do. Then what are we doing? So here we conclude and we offer this whole sadhana at the feet of Bhagwan. Kayena vacha manasendriyairva buddhyatmana va prakrite svabhavat Karomi yadyat sakalam parasmai narayanayeti samarpayami. Narayanayeti samarpayami. Om Tat Sat Brahmarpanamastu. Om Tat Sat Chinmayarpanamastu. Thank you everyone. It was great reflection to do on this 16th chapter with all of you, and you have been a great audience throughout this whole journey of Gita 700. 2 more chapters to go. We will take it up. 17th chapter we will begin in June. I will share the dates and all that. And as many of you already know, This book has been released, that is B Shiva, 108 Names of Bhagavan Shiva. Beautiful analogies, explanations, stories, Vedantic symbolism, and each name has many, many sadhanas also, more than 400 sadhanas. So if you have not got this, please order soon. I will share the link once again. We will do the arati and then conclude. We thank all the yajmans who have supported this entire series, the Mukhya Yajmans, the Gita Arti Yajmans for the whole series, the Dainik Arti Yajman for today, as well as the Dainik Yajman for today. We thank everyone. Invoke Bhagwan's grace, Gurudev's blessings on all the Yajmans and everyone so that we may live in the divine way, the Daivi Sampada. We drop the Asuri Sampada and we come to realize our true nature anchored in the Shastra. Jai Shri Krishna.
ॐ जय भगवद्गीते मैया जय भगवद्गीते हरिः कमलविहारिणि सुन्दर सुपुनीते ॐ जय भगवद्गीते कर्म सुमर्म प्रकाशिनि कामासक्तिहरा तत्त्वज्ञानविकासिनि विद्या ब्रह्मपरा ॐ जय भगवद्गीते निश्चलभक्तिविधायिनि निर्मलमलहारिणि शरणरहस्यप्रदायिनि सबविधि सुखकारी ॐ जय भगवद्गीते रागद्वेषविदारिणि कारिणि मोद सदा भवभयहारिणि तारिणि परमानन्दप्रदा ॐ जय भगवद्गीते आसुरभावविनाशिनि नाशिनि तमरजनि दैवी सद्गुणदायिनि हरिरसिका सजनी ॐ जय भगवद्गीते समता त्याग सिखावनी हरिमुख की बानी सकल शास्त्र की स्वामिनी श्रुतियों की रानी ॐ जय भगवद्गीते दया सुधा बरसावनी मातु कृपा की जय हरि पर प्रेम दान कर अपनों कर लीजय ॐ जय भगवद्गीते ॐ जय भगवद्गीते मैया जय भगवद्गीते हरिः कमलविहारिणि सुन्दर सुपुनीते ॐ जय भगवद्गीते ॐ जय भगवद्गीते ॐ जय भगवद्गीते बोलिए गीता मैया की जय
बोलिए श्री कृष्ण चंद्र भगवान की जय, श्री सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय. Yes, any questions?
Hari Om Swamiji, can you hear me?
Yes, Hari Om.
Swamiji, two things on Krodha and Lobha I want to ask you. So I used to get a little angry from time to time, and on reflection, I found it had to do with insistence. You want a certain way in which things are done or certain reaction. And because of that, sometimes anger used to get a little out of hand. So one other thing I did do in my journaling was I took a sankalp, and it did help a lot. But there are still, threads of irritation which still come, which probably is got to do with this past mind that was insisting. So that is one thing. And on this thing, Lobha, my job is actually to help clients create wealth or increase their wealth. So I end up reading a lot. And because of all this, so many more than a decade plus that I've spent with you, my greed is a lot in control. I'm not greedy for more and all. And God has been very kind. But when I'm reading, sometimes I find I made certain mistakes, and I can't help it but think about it. Had I not made it, then though my wealth is 100, it could have been 120, or I would have had more. And that thought, even whether I like it or no, I can't help but think about it. So I'm just figuring out how do I, keep both this in check.
See, over a period of time, the anger has reduced and traces of irritation are there. So that is understandable, and progress is also very commendable. One has to identify there are certain things what are causing the irritations, and in time through sadhana it will go. The more I feel the joy of my sadhana, the more I feel content, and the more I feel detached from the things and people around, that irritation also will go. And sometimes a small little irritation that lasts for us just a split second or a few moments, it's all right. It will go in time. Don't worry too much about it as long as one is doing the sadhanas. And if there's a deeper cause for that irritation, yes, one should identify and try to learn to accept.
Mhm.
As you said, insistence somewhere
Yeah.
is, resistance is there, that we have to learn to drop, and that comes by time.
Yeah.
Now, second aspect is lobha. See, there is nothing wrong in growing wealth. Growth of wealth is not called lobha. Desire to grow wealth also is not lobha. And that is your profession also, to help people to grow wealth. That is also fine. Now, in that, if you felt that yes, something would have been better if I would have taken a different decision in the past, that happens. That always is. In all situations in life, there will always be something or the other where if something would have been done better, there's always a scope for improvement. And yes, we would have acted immaturely at some point in life. We have to accept it. This is a part of evolution.
Mhm.
That we, at a certain level, are doing certain things with that amount of knowledge and quietude and the mind capability. Where today, after having grown, we feel, array, that was so immature. I should not have done like that. But that is what has we have grown in maturity. So one should take it as a compliment, saying at least I'm
Mhm.
able to recognize now. And that time I did like that. Yes, possibly that could have been more, but that possibilities are always there.
Yeah.
There's no point in thinking of that possibility and feeling lesser now. Let
True.
me count my blessing. As you said, God has been kind. So let me live more in gratitude and let me learn my lessons so that I don't repeat that
Mhm.
behavior. So I have to drop the regret, learn the lesson, and move ahead.
Yeah. So one other thing I reflect on is what you taught us about Mudha Mate. Like, don't be deluded. What you can't change, no point. So that also helps. And the
Correct.
other thing I try and work on is not argue with people beyond a point. I say, and I know if you keep arguing, then the scope of this thing. So I cut it within like two discussions and then stop.
Correct.
So
So
I'm
that
doing
is
that.
good for our peace.
Yeah.
Correct.
Hariom. Thank you. Thank you.
Hariam Swamiji,
Haji, Hariom.
thank you for this teaching us this very wonderful chapter. Swamiji, I had two questions. One is, what is the difference between having a healthy sense of self-esteem and man or pride? And if you want, I can ask the second question after this.
Yeah, so healthy sense of self-esteem is the right estimate of my own talents, potential, capabilities, as well as being anchored in the sense of gratitude कि Bhagwan has blessed me with these things and I use it for my own success as well as for helping others. That is healthy sense of self-esteem where I see myself in a more positive light. I see my strengths, my goodness, my talents, and I'm also aware of my limitations. And without resisting and justifying, I try to overcome them, and so that keeps me grounded. Also, in Man, there are so Man, the locus is outside. Number one. Number two, because the Man comes because of either body or money or position or fame or glory or any of that. I feel proud and my self-esteem is not in the self. It is now pride from because of other things. One. Two, it is also that sometimes there is an overestimation. One thinks too much of there is no proper clarity about oneself and one overestimates oneself as well as one is becomes egoistic, sometimes ill treats others also, is not able to accept one's own flaws, is not grounded in humility and gratitude. Ego rules a lot in this. In healthy sense of self-esteem, ego is not there. It's only a functional estimation of my capabilities. And one is still grounded, gratitude and humility is there. In Man, there is strong sense of ego. So person will be hurt also very fast and very touchy, sensitive, and gets offended soon, can get angry also very soon. All that are those are things about Man.
All right, thank you. Swami, the second question actually comes from an earlier chapter, and I was just pondering over something you had mentioned, and of course, it is something which is bound to confuse people. But you had said that from a standpoint of Vedant, creation never happened, and it's a logical impossibility. And yet, there is a chapter in the Gita where Bhagavan himself is talking about the process of creation and the total mind and Hiranyagarbha. So, how does one reconcile all of that? Because this is also something Bhagavan is talking about. And was it merely something that Bhagavan is saying to appease the human mind, or is there actually the factual truth in that as well? Because both of them seem to be opposing each other.
Yeah, so they seem to be opposing. They are not. They are only two different levels. And at any point in time, one level will be true. When a person is in the dream appears very real, and so the dream affects a person also. And then one wants to know who is the creator of the dream, and then how did this get created, and then some creation theory also is given. But when the person wakes up, one realizes that this thing was not real only, it was just one illusion. Dream example has a limitation, at least one experienced it. Actually, when one wakes up, one realizes nothing happened because there is changeless truth. I am, I will always be Brahman only. So that is the limitation of the dream example. But the idea here is if I can't take up that highest standpoint that creation never happened because that requires subtle intellect as well as purest of mind to come to that state and abide in that state. Then if I think creation is real, then some theory of creation has to be given. So Bhagavan will give, Upanishads will give, all different theories of creation are given. The idea is not to say that creation is real. The idea is only to say that if you are seeing a snake, then we can tell you, okay, because of this light is less and because of this, particular path on which this rope is lying. So we say, okay, this snake was born and then the snake came like this and this is what happened to you and then it has bit you. Some kind of a logical explanation is being given for something which never happened. Is only to make the mind quiet. When that person's mind has become quiet, then is ready to see clearly that there was no snake there. There's only rope.
Then does sorry. But then does Ishvara become part of the illusion also, or is...
From Brahman standpoint, Ishvara is part of illusion only. What else? But from Jiva standpoint, Ishvara is real. If Jiva is real, Ishvara is real. As real as the Jiva is, that real is Ishvara. If Jiva says, I am Brahman, then there is no Jagat, there is no Jiva, there is no Jagadishvara also. So if the Jiva says, I am real but Ishvara is not, then that is contradiction. Then who created you and the Jagat? So there are levels. And through surrender to the Jiva, to surrender to Ishvara, this Jiva drops Jiva Bhav, then the Jiva will realize there is only one Brahman and this whole thing never happened. So those are levels, and then there are means to how to get out of this illusory reality to realize the truth.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Swamiji.
Hari Om. Okay, last question.
Hari Om Swamiji.
Hari Om.
This is Bhakti Marfatya.
Haji.
First of all, for the 15th chapter, what we did, like world record, we will be. It was wonderful experience, very, very divine and very, very nice. Thank you very much, whatever you have put the effort and the whole team.
That's in my Vrindavan, they did it.
Yes, yes. But no, like our gratitude to all the Swamis and all our Guruji and Gurudev. And second thing, thank you very much for all this till these 16 chapters, the journey which you took us with you. It was really, again, that was also very wonderful and divine. And lots of, like with depth, and we have understood, means I have understood very, very many details which was not clear at times. And third thing, only Nastro, like what somebody asked this, that there are two controversies in Gita. Bhagwan says this, that okay, this is the real word, it occurred like this. And then he says that it's not, it is mithya. So, like, if means I know that, and you must be also, you also know that, but Narsi Mehta, Param Bhakta, Param Kavi, of whatever we call him, but his own, like that one pad, he says, Akhil Brahmandama, tu bhasi reho, means that like all over the world only, means in whole Brahmand, you only there. That was Advaita Bhav. And then when he grew up, and then like at a higher stage, he only himself said, Jagine jo to Brahma latka kare, Brahma nahi saath hai. So like even I am like now after getting that knowledge and rose up, means I feel that, oh, it was like I was making, latka means, there is no word anywhere in the English dictionary, which I feel. I find at times that English dictionary is like poor. The language doesn't have the lots of like vocabulary which our languages have. But like that was the status which he reached, and he himself told the same thing. Like, oh, he was at this level, and when he reached that level, he himself realized that it was me only and he only. So it was also like wonderful understanding when we also read all this, then we understand it very clearly.
Right.
Thank you very much once again, Swamiji.
Thank you, Amma. Hari Om. Thank you.
Hari Om.
Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Guru Bhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Thank you, everyone.